Back for an update. Yes. So, are people picking on people for their other family members? Are people picking on people for their other family members? Thought exercise. Well, like, is it fair to be irritated at Ivanka Trump for her dad? Well, she's right next to her dad, right? They work together, right? She's flying on Air Force One, right? So we're going to do a little lesson in American history, politics, yeah, brought to you by a person born and raised in the United States. Yeah, I'm a bit of a mess right now because we have lots of messages coming in. So, when somebody... Okay, so here's the example with Donald Trump. Here's the big fucking issue that everybody has. And whether or not it's justified or not, that's up to each individual citizen. We're just doing critical thinking, thought exercises. Is it okay, for example, to be irritated at Ivanka Trump for her dad's presidency stuff? Well, she's on the same team, right? She's sitting in Air Force One with him, flying to their golf course. So the problem is whenever a president is, I'm going to Google it right now. Whenever a president flies in an airplane, that airplane becomes Air Force One. How much does Air Force One charge per hour? Air Force One can charge, yeah. How much does Air Force One cost per flight hour? $177,843 per hour. We pay whoever owns the plane that the president is flying around in. So for Donald Trump and Ivanka and whoever that's on their team to jump in their plane and fly over to their golf course, it costs us, the American taxpayers, paying Donald Trump for his own plane. We're paying Donald Trump $177,000 an hour. Now, let's remember, when he campaigned last time, he literally brought up Obama golfing, and he used that as part of his smear campaign when he was, that's what politicians do, they kind of smear each other. And he promised us that he wouldn't have time to go golfing. So we hired him on that promise, that campaign promise. And not only did he go golfing, he brought the golfing business to his golf courses. This is a press release from March 23rd, 2020. I just Googled how much money did President Trump spend on golfing. It's hard to nail it down. New report shows taxpayers foot the bill for President Trump's $1 million weekend golf trip to his resort in Scotland. Here's a quote from that. This is from Committee on Oversight and Accountability, Democrats. American taxpayers should not be on the hook for President Trump's golf weekend to a property he owns as a private businessman. The president has consistently abused the levers of government to promote his own personal enrichment. And we are calling on him today to reimburse the American people for the more than $1 million price tag for his unnecessary and wasteful trip. This is their money, not his, and he should return it to them immediately. So that one golf trip that he jumped in his own plane, went over to Scotland, brought Secret Service agents out there, put all the Secret Service agents up in his hotel at his resort. Yep, all the food they ate. We have other receipts where Trump's Secret Service people threw a party. This was another one. Yeah. $3,000 alcohol bill at his place. Yeah, charge it to the American taxpayers. So he just keeps going to his own golf resorts and fleecing the American taxpayers when he promised us he wasn't going to do that. That's just one golf trip. Yeah. So just for sake of time, I'm going to put this on pause. I'm going to Google, and I'm going to try to see if we can get an overall cost on how much money President Trump brought to his own golf courses. Now let's remember, when he became president, immediately the membership of his golf courses doubled. Yep, they doubled the membership. Then he brought business out to his family's golf courses. Yeah. All paid for by the American people. All right, so I'm going to pause this and I'm going to try to get an overall number that we paid for President Trump's golfing of himself. And he has the right to take a break. He has a right to golf for sure. But let's remember, he's doing it at his own businesses. He's putting up all these Secret Service people. They're all spending all sorts of money at his place, and it's a constant windfall for him, being paid for by the American tax people. Yeah, Ivanka's right next to him the whole time. Yeah. What's up, dudes? So I thought I was filming this whole time. I was talking to the camera this whole time, and I wasn't filming, so I don't know what I got on here or not. So what I'm going to recap what I just said is I pulled up, and if I said this again, you can just fast forward it. I pulled up this is Crew. It's citizensforethics.org. This is May 23rd, 2022. The Secret Service spent nearly $2 million at Trump properties. The Secret Service has spent nearly $2 million of taxpayer money at Trump properties, literally paying Donald Trump for the right to protect him and his family, according to government records obtained and analyzed by Crew. Newly acquired records show that roughly $1.75 million being paid to Trump's businesses. However, these records appear to be incomplete. Previously published records by Crew and others, which do not appear to be included in the documents, account for thousands more in Secret Service spending at Trump properties, bringing the likely grand total closer to $2 million. One of the biggest sources of expenses was at Mar-a-Lago, the so-called Winter White House. The documents obtained by Crew through the Freedom of Information Act show the Secret Service paying Trump's private club more than $300,000 to protect him and his family there. So, the Secret Service paying Trump's private club, so it's not the Secret Service, it's the American taxpayers, are paying Trump's private club $300,000 to protect him and his family there. Over his presidency, Trump made an astounding 146 visits. Now, let's remember, this is the dude who campaigned and said, I'm not going to have time to golf. And we said, perfect, we're going to hire you. We don't want all our taxpayer money wasted on golf. Trump made an astounding 146 visits to the Palm Beach Club, which makes sense in the context of his inability to build a government while he was staying at the actual White House. So if Trump stayed at the White House like he promised us when he was campaigning last time, he wouldn't be able to fleece the American taxpayers. But instead, he got into his plane, charged Air Force One to himself fees, flew to his golf course, and instead of doing his business at the White House, he can now charge the American citizens a whole bunch of money that goes directly to his golf course, which, as soon as he was presidency, the membership doubled. The records do not show any spending at Mar-a-Lago until 2018, despite the fact Trump visited the property many times the year before, and those visits are known to have resulted in tens of thousands of dollars of Secret Service spending. One of the defining features of the Trump presidency was how much time he spent golfing. It's not just that he spent nearly a quarter of his days of his presidency at a golf course. It's that he almost exclusively did so at courses that bear his name. So he brought a windfall of money to his own resorts and just hung out there and made a bunch of money that we paid for. While we cannot know for sure which courses he was at, the records show the Secret Service spending more than $850,000 at his golf properties, with reported numbers outside of the records obtained by crew bringing the likely total closer to $1 million. Yep. Well, Secret Service is now eating fucking steak. They got a $3,000 alcohol bill. Do you know at one of Trump's events, we paid for the Secret Service's $3,000 alcohol bill? Well, charge that alcohol bill to Donald Trump. Yeah, he made a profit of it. That's where people have a hard time. Now, he's hawking Bibles. Oh, shit. So, Palm Beach, let's talk about Palm Beach. Yeah. Mr. President, what do you think of Ghislaine Maxwell? Great person. Love her. Yep. A friend of mine. Wonderful people down in Palm Beach. No, I don't know anything about that. The whole world's jaw dropped open. The whole world knows about Ghislaine Maxwell. You just said she's a wonderful person. You wish her the best. Mr. Trump, are you on the golf course instead of staying up with current events? And then now he's catering, pandering, mind-fucking, the bloated bobblehead of the moral righteous. Yeah, go buy his Trump-endorsed Bible. These people are projecting onto this man what they want to see. The Trump-endorsed Bible. So here's what the Trump-endorsed Bible should have. If we're going to be honest, open the Bible. The first page should say, the whole hot mic, grab her by the pussy moment. That was just locker room talk. No, that wasn't just locker room talk. He's not 14 years old. He's not in a middle school locker room. He's a grown man at a work event, taking a break in a work bus, and he forgot he got a mic on. So this is how, and if you haven't bothered listening to the whole hot mic, the whole thing, I'm going to put it down in the comment section. So everybody that jumped at buying one of these Trump-endorsed Bibles because we're going to get morality back in the United States, here's what the first page of that Bible should say. I tried to fuck her. She was married. Yeah, I tried to fuck her. I moved on her like a bitch. I bought her furniture. Sad to say, I couldn't seal the deal. Yeah, no, they let you do anything when you're like me. You can grab him by the pussy. Grab him by the pussy. Yeah, I gotta, yeah. Oh, look at her legs. Yeah, look at her legs. They're looking out the window at a coworker's legs, walking towards them. Oh, I gotta get a Tic Tac in my mouth. I might just start kissing her. It starts out with, I tried to fuck her. She was married. I'll admit it. Yeah. Turn the page. Yeah, the next page. Him talking about his pageants with 18 and 19-year-old young women, old girls. If you have a teenage daughter, if you're not emotionally connected to pageants, if you have a teenage daughter in dancing, and she's in the back changing out of her costume, yeah, he says, I'll put that one down too. Well, you're not supposed, no men are allowed to be back there. Oh, and then he cuts himself off. But I can. No, I just make, because I own the pageant. Yeah, all I have to do is say I'm inspecting. Yeah, and then I'm back there. Beautiful bodies. Beautiful bodies. I just say I'm inspecting. Yeah, naked girls' titties all over for him to oogle. Even though he just said he knows he's not supposed to be there. But he can bend the rules because he owns the thing. Yeah, that's the next page of the Bible. Howard Stern saying to him, I hear your daughter's a nice piece of ass. Beautiful body. Beautiful body. Turn the page. New interview. Yeah, if she was my daughter, perhaps I'd date her. And people are falling over themselves to buy this Bible. People are projecting what they want to see onto this dude and willfully ignoring the truth. Who was next to him the whole time? His employees. So, how much did Ivanka and Jared make during the presidency? Remember, make America great, but make Ivanka's clothes in China. Mr. Chinese dude passed his patent through for Ivanka's clothes. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump reported between $172 million and $640 million in outside income while working in the White House, according to an analysis financial disclosures by Crew. It's like Citizens for the Review of Ethics in Washington, I think it stands for. And the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. Fact check. Did Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner make $640 million in the White House? Let's see. I'm just scrolling. A tweet sent on July 14, 2022 states that Donald Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and her husband, Jared Kushner, earned $640 million while working in the White House. The tweet, which has received more than 17,000 engagements, also says that Kushner earned an extra $2 billion from Saudi connections as part of a cover-up of murdered journalist Jamal Khashoggi. I don't know, that sounds conspiracy. The wealth that Kushner and Ivanka earned from outside income while Donald Trump was president has been laid bare by a number of journalists. The couple was said to have made at least $82 million in outside income while working for the Trump administration as early as 2017. According to Washington Post and Politico, Ivanka earned $3.9 million from her share in Trump International Hotel, $5 million from her clothing brand Make America Great, Make Ivanka's Clothes in China, $2 million in income and severance from the Trump Organization, and $289,000 from Penguin Random House in advance for her new book, Women Who Work. Women Who Work. She reportedly donated the proceeds from the book to the Ivanka M. Trump Charitable Fund. Her brothers, I think they just got busted for charging a charity event at one of the clubs. Yeah. Said they weren't making a profit, and then they gathered the receipt. Oh, they were making a profit. Kushner made at least $70 million from his shares in the family real estate companies, including $5 million from Quail Ridge, a New Jersey apartment building that Kushner acquired in 2017, which they can make their money. So both Ivanka and Kushner made millions in outside income while working for the Trump administration and flying out, I'm adding this in, and flying out to all the golf clubs. Yeah. Bill it to the taxpayers. However, the tweet claiming they earned $640 million and that Kushner was given $2 billion hush money to cover up the debt, blah, 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 significantly stretches the facts. The $640 million figure appears to come from this report by Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, which assessed the couple's financial disclosures. The report clearly states at the outset that Kushner and Trump made somewhere between $172 million and $640 million in outside income. The article notes it's impossible to tell the exact amount, as the income is sometimes reported in broad ranges and cover 4 months of income before Ivanka Trump officially joined her father's administration and nearly 1 month before Jared Kushner joined. I think this is the same place who said when Ivanka's, I think it was her clothing line, they reported it going out of business, but somehow then like the next year, the clothing line was still making money in their filings, even though it was officially defunct. So it's a big question mark is what the answer is. It's a big question mark. So if you don't agree with what your boss is doing, but you still reap the rewards, are you just as at fault? And that's a lesson we had just learned. And now I'm like not talking about the Trumps at all anymore right now. That's a lesson that we learned. Yeah. Is Eva Braun still a Nazi? She's off at the resorts all the time doing back bends in front of her, yet getting her supply. You see that one where Eva Braun's doing a back bend for the picture? She loved flirting with those dudes and getting supply. Her people that were taking care of her while the Fuhrer was gone. Yeah. Her picture of her with her cute socks. She loved her clothes. Eva Braun loved the perks she got from being the old girlfriend of Hitler. Was she just as much a Nazi? Well, yes. The answer is yes. If Eva Braun didn't want to be associated with all of that, she should have dumped Hitler. But she liked being the popular girl. She enjoyed it. She was a narcissist too. Both of those were narcissists. So can you reap all the benefits, if you call them benefits, and rewards, and say, well, no, I'm not fully invested in that though. Yeah. So the answer is yes. Eva Braun is still a Nazi. Yeah. So there's a lot to think about. And there's a lot to think about too, like what you'll do for your parents. Like if you're a scapegoat of the family, if you're the empath of the family, like what you'll do, even if it don't feel good, even in your heart, if you know this is fucking wrong, yeah. Like if everything blows up on one day and you're begging your parent to make it stop, yeah, that's the day you probably quit your job. But that plane is pretty comfortable. So we have to stop projecting onto people what we want them to be, because it fills our narrative. And we have to look at the actual behavior, what these people have done. Somebody can be nice and sweet and kind and gentle and beautiful and gorgeous and whatever. And they can say, no, I don't do that. But if all the evidence says they do that, that means that person has no problem looking right in your face and saying, no, that's not me, but it is you. So we have to stop. That's what Spirit's teaching right now. We have to stop projecting onto people what we want them to be. Everybody that's sending $60 for this Trump Bible, and I will put that Bible reviewer, there's an honest Bible reviewer here on YouTube who buys Bibles and just does honest, he's a Christian man, he just does honest Bible reviews. That's his whole channel. He bought the Trump Bible. He did a review on it. Advertised as bound in leather. Yeah, it arrived. Thrown into a plastic bag and thrown into a bubble mailer. He was going to do an unboxing, but it arrived in a bubble maker inside a piece of plastic. Advertised as bound in genuine leather, pulls it out as fake leather. The King James Version of the Bible is in public domain. I could print up the King James Version of the Bible. Yeah. It's not laid out in any sort of prose or any sort of layout that a normal Bible has where you have paragraphs. Nope, it's just a constant stream of words. None of like the poetry laid out of the Bible, nothing. Nope, just a constant stream of words on paper that's so thin you can see the other words on the other side. And the person who, we have all sorts of comments that people left on that. A politician should not be endorsing a Bible. The Bible belongs to the world. The Bible does not, the Bill of Rights and the Pledge of Allegiance does not belong in the Bible. By the comment that I heard, that I heard them all. Well, there was one. Growing up, my preacher always said, if somebody wants you to pay for their Bible, they're a charlatan. You shouldn't pay for a Bible. Other ones, but the number one comment that really got me was, you can't tell me that the person that advertised that Bible is genuine leather didn't know it was not genuine leather. Throw them in a piece of plastic, slam them into a bubble mailer, and get them out there. Somebody paid $60 for that. You can't tell me that the person that advertised that as genuine leather didn't know it was not genuine leather. So the Honest Bible Reviewer, which is very interesting, and I'll put it down there, their overall thing was way overpriced for kind of a piece of crap, for lack of a better way to say it. And it's a shame, because it doesn't have the right opening pages. I tried to fuck her. She was married. I moved on her like a bitch. I bought her furniture. I took her furniture shopping. Sad to say, I couldn't seal the deal. And let's just remember, however you look at it too, there's people falling over themselves to get their foot in the door with different administrations, and yeah. All this is over in 4 years for this family. It's done. It's completely done in 4 years. So why do I think Donald Trump's getting about us some bad karma? Like, despite everything, I think this works better with the microphone. I think it all comes down to his ex-wife's gravesite. I think that's where it went. Yeah. Where masks have to be ripped off. So it's a lesson in projecting, seeing what you want to see. So we know that that family said they have a beautiful plan for their family, that they're going to do a family plot at the golf course, one of his golf courses. And that's where they're going to bury the deceased members of their family. Well, that sounds really sweet. Yeah, it sounds like a loving kind of old-fashioned thing to do. Can I bury bodies in the backyard of my business? Can I do it too? Or the front yard? So then what happened was, there was some sort of golf event, and somebody kind of snuck over to where they weren't supposed to be, and a year later found her grave and took a picture of it. And it was overrun with weeds. It was not maintained. It was not manicured or groomed. And that's why we bury people in cemeteries, to honor them. And it's consistently manicured and groomed. And so that picture that was taken and went viral, and if you haven't seen it, maybe this is a lesson in projecting, in believing what you want to believe. The proof is in the pudding. Like, all the fact checkers seem to deem it true. This dude was at the golf course. He snuck into where Ivana Trump is buried, and he took a picture. And it's very disrespectful. the way that graveside was, especially if there was a big tournament or something happening. Then they came out with an alternate fact from the groundskeeper. We have to wait a year. We have to wait for the ground to settle. This was like a year later. We have to wait for the ground to settle before we can maintain the grave. Now that's some bullshit. Now that's some bullshit. That family has enough money and enough nannies where they could go out with a pair of scissors, every one of them, and trim that up in 5 minutes. So that's where I think Spirit said enough is enough. And people are being sent to spiritual jail. And people are going to be sent to real jail. We already know some people have gone to real jail. So it's a lesson on having to see the facts. And word on the street, yeah, that's why everybody's like, what in the fuck? Why are they doing this? Word on the street is they get a tax break if it's that property has a cemetery on it. Who knows? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe it is a delightful, loving family gesture. There's nothing nefarious about it. Yeah, why does her grave look like that? There's other cemeteries right around there that the grass is trimmed and mowed and they don't have to wait for the ground to settle. That doesn't even make any sense. Maybe that's for a bigger headstone. Because you just got that basic in the ground thing, flat thing. Yeah, they have those so you can mow the grass really easily right over them. But the grass is grown over it. So that's where everybody's like, hold up, hold up. And that's where spirits said, yeah, Zeus picked up a fucking lightning bolt and started throwing it. I hear SS detention, guilty, cruelty to another person. So for the record, I don't work for anybody. I am not like an undercover politician, slayer, anything like that. No, I will have another video about how fucked up the left is too. How Joe Biden and his whole administration completely went after a private citizen and his company, that private citizen being Elon Musk, and how that should terrify every one of us. When a president needs to whip up his base for someone to hate, so they set their sights on a private citizen. So yeah, that's coming eventually. But back to the Trump Bible. I just sit in my swing and Spirit's like, think about that. I'm like, okay. Oh, I got it. Yeah. So the dude said the Bible was like $60 plus $14 shipping or whatever, shipping and handling. In the end, he paid like 75 bucks, whatever it was, something around that, in the 70s. When you put, now I shipped things in my business, so I know about shipping. When you put a book into a bubble mailer, that is considered media mail class. So when you're shipping, you have like priority mail, you have first class, you have media mail. So if he's sending it via the USPS postal system, yeah, he's getting a less than cheapest that we can pay way to ship it, and it's called media mail. And that's where you can ship, like, think of library resources type stuff, whatever's in a library. You get a discounted shipping price because it's like a book. And so, but it has certain restrictions, and it has to be certain media. So the Bible would definitely qualify as media mail. Yeah, so it costs maybe $3 to ship that, or however much current media mail costs. So just try to figure out how much. Maybe it's, let's just be generous, say it actually costs $5 to package and ship that, but they're charging $14 for shipping and handling, or however much. In the end, this dude paid $70-something for this. Is it good business, or is it fleecing when it's the Bible? Is it good business, or is it fleecing when you're using tactics to whip people up and fondle their own bloated bobblehead of moral righteousness? And then you're kind of fleecing them too. Stuff to think about. Have a good day.